Senator Hadcock, this is item 13, SB 1219.
Yes.
You may begin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. Again, I hope and believe that this bill has no opposition. It is a way of helping the state, local governments, and individuals that are facing challenges, achieving economic stability for some of our most vulnerable populations, including people who are formerly incarcerated, individuals trying to get out of homelessness, and among the 700,000 California youth between the ages of 16 and 24 who we describe as disconnected from school and work. AB 1219 sets an additional category called employment, social enterprises, and allows them to compete for state contracts within the small business regulations that we have now. These are small, medium-sized businesses. Some are for-profit, some are nonprofit, but they provide supported employment for a transitional period of time for individuals who might otherwise not be given an opportunity by other employers. With me today are, in support of the bill, are Julie Sinai with the Roberts Enterprise Development Fund and Lonnie Tuck from the Center for Employment Opportunities.
Thank you very much. There we go. That's much better. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you to this illustrious committee. My name is Lonnie Tuck, and I am the Regional Director for CEO. CEO stands for the Center for Employment Opportunities, and we work exclusively with those who are on probation and or parole. This year, we will place over 300 probationers and parolees into full-time employment in Alameda County. I had one of our participants who was coming today. Unfortunately, he has pneumonia. He contacted me at 5:15 this morning to let me know that he was unable to make it, but he wanted me to share his statement today. His name is Larry Collins, and he is a beneficiary of the Employment of Social Enterprise in Oakland. I was released from Santa Rita County in October 2015. I faced significant barriers to employment when returning home. However, as a participant for the Center of Employment Opportunities, an employment social enterprise, I have not only received transitional job, but also supportive management and assistance to encourage my success and pathway to mainstream employers. I am here today to express support for SB 1219. The Alameda Probation Department referred me to CEO in October of 2015. CEO has helped me with stable employment until I'm able to find permanent job. On top of teaching me strong work ethic, CEO has helped me become a better team player by working with others on the City of Oakland's beautification crews. CEO has also helped me in giving me a positive attitude, allowing me to feel more hopeful about my future. Employment social enterprises like CEO use cost-effective approach to provide more people with services and transitional jobs. And this allows them to become job ready with basic skills necessary to succeed in mainstream workforce. Because I have been through the system, I know that it's hard to have employers trust you. I am looking to grow, expand, learn, and contribute to an employer that will give me a chance. Being incarcerated is tough, but I still have the opportunity to be able to work through the situation that I am with the help of CEO. A significant contributor of poverty is a set of barriers, including incarceration, that keeps millions of youth and adults off career pathways. It is in the state's interest to grow businesses that provide jobs and training for thousands of people who want to work, but are often not given the opportunity by mainstream employers. Please stand with Californians who have the toughest time getting jobs, like myself, and vote in favor of SB 1219. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Hall and Senators. My name is Julie Sinai, and I'm the Policy Director for REDF. I'm here to support SB 1219. Since REDF's founding almost 20 years ago, we've provided business advisory services and funding to over 60 employment social enterprises in California, providing 10,000 jobs. In the next 5 years, we will provide direct support to 9 enterprises across the state that will generate over 14,000 jobs for people with significant barriers to employment and barriers to retaining that employment. These businesses will generate $375 million in gross revenues. Employment social enterprises are businesses that earn and reinvest their revenue to cover the majority of costs of business, and therefore are less dependent on public dollars than traditional employment and training programs. Employment social enterprises are a double bottom line business with a social mission, providing jobs for people with significant barriers to employment, those who have experienced incarceration, homelessness, mental illness, or substance addiction, and youth who are disconnected from school and work. Procurement with the state and local government is a key business strategy that businesses use to grow jobs and revenues. Employment social enterprises provide valuable goods and services such as landscaping, electronic waste recycling, street cleaning, silk screening, just to name a few. These businesses are at a competitive disadvantage when competing for public contracts because the cost of doing business includes training, skills development, and supportive services. Training and support that's critical to success, as studies show that the average age of people who are employed in employment social enterprises is age 40. 25% of those folks have never had a job. Please stand with businesses and provide a job, a first employment step for Californians to gain technical and soft skills required for today's workforce, and vote in favor of SB 1219. Thank you.
Thank you. We have other witnesses in support. Just state your name and your organization and your position. Yes.
Hi, are we allowed to make comments?
Your
on our
name, organization, and position.
Okay. My name's Marilee Eckert. I'm the CEO of Conservation Corps North Bay, and I'm also representing the California Association of Local Conservation Corps today in strong support of SB 1219.
Very good. Thank you.
Jesus Gopar, North Bay Conservation Corps member.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service.
Rolando Garcia, North Bay Conservation Corps, and I'm a Corps member, and I support the bill.
Thank you for your service. Thank you.
Janisha Hawkins, Civic Corps School Corps member, and I support Bill 1219.
Thank you for your service.
Michael Matthews with Civic Corps, formerly known as East Bay Conservation Corps. I support the bill as well.
Thank you for your service, Mike.
Yvette Arroyo Agredana with Civic Corps in Oakland, California, in support of Senate Bill 1219.
Thank you for your service, ma'am. Any other witnesses in support? Witnesses in opposition? Questions, comments, concerns from the members? Senator Hueso.
Thank you, Senator Hancock. This is a fantastic bill. Not only am I supporting it, but I'd like to be added as a co-author, if that is possible.
Thank you.
And at the appropriate time, Mr. Chair, I'd like to move the bill.
So noted, Senator. Thank you. Any other questions, comments, concerns from the members? Senator, would you like to close?
Simply, if you've ever had landscaping done by someone from one of these businesses, eaten a Rubicon cake, or gone to Homeboy Industries for breakfast, you know these are wonderful businesses. They produce great products, and they produce supported employment and put people back in the world of work in very positive ways. I would ask for your aye vote.
Can you explain to me what a Rubicon cake is?
Ooh. Oh, you're a Southern Californian. They're a bakery that
okay.
distribute their product in many grocery stores throughout the Bay Area. Sorry.
those awful Southern California lawmakers. I don't know what a Rubicon cake is. My apologies. All right, very well then. The bill has been properly moved by Senator Hueso. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Motion is due pass and re-refer to appropriations. Hall.
Aye.
Hall, aye. Berryhill. Block. Block, aye. Gaines. Galgiani. Galgiani, aye. Glazer. Hernandez. Hernandez, aye. Hill. Hueso.
Aye.
Hueso, aye. Laura. McGuire. McGuire, aye. Runner. Vidak. Vidak, aye. Currently has 7. Gaines, aye. 8.
Okay, that bill has 8. We'll keep the roll open for absent members.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Leyva, please come forward. And that's item 19, SB 1385.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. Thank you for the opportunity to present SB 1385 today.
Absolutely.
SB 1385 would ensure that local agencies who responded to the December 2nd terrorist attack in San Bernardino can receive 100% state reimbursement for eligible costs. On the morning of December 2nd, 2015, terrorists opened fire with semi-automatic weapons on the nearly 100 employees of the County of San Bernardino Division of Environmental Health Services who were participating in an all-day training session. The horrific attack killed 14 innocent people and was the deadliest attack on U.S. soil since 9/11. As that horrible morning unfolded, local law enforcement immediately sprang into action to protect the public. First responders were on site within minutes and provided tactical and strategic law enforcement and emergency medical services during and after the attack. This quick and selfless response saved countless lives and prevented the already tragic attack from becoming much worse. However, in the aftermath of this tragic incident, the responding local agencies are struggling to deal with the millions of dollars in unanticipated costs. Under current law, local agencies are eligible to receive up to 75% of the state share cost not covered by federal financial assistance. However, some disasters are so large in scale that local governments cannot afford to bear the massive unexpected costs associated with responding to the tragedy, as well as the ongoing public safety and emergency services often required after such a devastating event. These costs can be so significant that local agencies may spend large portions of their budgets in a matter of days or weeks. In some of these cases, the state has increased its share of reimbursed costs from 75% to 100%. The estimated cost of responding to the San Bernardino terrorist attack exceeds $19 million. And without further state help, local agencies will be penalized for their rapid and comprehensive response to this tragedy. SB 1385 will provide that local agencies who responded to this horrific event can receive 100% reimbursement from the state for eligible costs. This bill will ensure that local agencies can continue to provide high-quality services to the constituents of San Bernardino County. I respectfully ask for your aye vote, and before I turn to my witness, I would just again want to publicly state what an amazing job the City of San Bernardino and law enforcement did in responding to the horrible attacks on December 2nd. We will always be very appreciative of them. So here to testify in support of the bill is Mike Antonucci from the City, or the County of San Bernardino.
Thank you, and thank you for this wonderful piece of legislation. Sir, you may begin.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair Member and committee members. San Bernardino County will never be the same after December 2nd. The people in Environmental Health Service, the 100 people that were at that event, has affected everybody throughout the whole county, the county's 43 departments, law enforcement, fire, just a few. The only mechanism for the county and the cities and the special districts jurisdictions to recover any costs is CDAA funding, the California Disaster Assistance Act. This has never occurred before in the state of California to where CDAA funding has been used for a terrorist event since it's the first on our soil. The 75% of eligible costs is still yet to be determined. We're working with the California Governor's Office of Emergency Services to determine what costs would be eligible or not, because CDAA is usually funding for natural disasters or arson-related type fires. As the Senator said, the estimated cost right now for the mass shooting was $19 million, and this is an ongoing event when we're still expending money, which we don't feel we'll probably have resolution to until about June or July of this year because of the borrowing of personnel from other counties to be able to fulfill the environmental health or the environmental services need that we have in the county legislated. Senate Bill 1385 would make San Bernardino a terrorist attack eligible for the 100% of eligible cost funding, and we would ask you for the consideration of a vote on SB 1335.
Thank you for your testimony. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Darby Kernan. I'm with the California State Association of Counties. We're here in support today. I think one of the key things is as the county and city, the federal government and state government responded so quickly, victims receive services immediately and are continuing to receive them from the California Office of Emergency Services, but there are so many other costs that are not covered by that funding. And so it's become an incredible burden on the county and the victims who have to move to different locations to do their jobs because they can't go back to the same place where they were working. So CSAC is in support of this measure, and we encourage your aye vote.
Thank you. Any other witnesses in support? Please state your name, organization, and position.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Megan Brightwell on behalf of the California Professional Firefighters. Pleased to be in support.
Thank you. Any other witnesses in support? Any witnesses in opposition? Seeing none, questions, comments, concerns from the members? The bill's been properly moved. Senator, would you like to close?
Just respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Very well, thank you. Madam Secretary, please call the roll. The bill has been moved by Senator McGuire.
Motion is due pass and re-refer to appropriations. Hall?
Aye.
Hall, aye. Berryhill? Block? Block, aye. Gaines? Galgiani? Galgiani, aye. Glazer? Hernandez? Hernandez, aye. Hill? Waso?
Aye.
Waso, aye. Laura? McGuire?
Aye.
McGuire, aye. Runner? Vidak?
Aye.
Vidak, aye.
7, that bill has 7. We'll keep the roll open for absent members.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members.
Thank you.
Okay, we're at item number 11, SB 1151, Emergency Services State Toxic Disaster. You're going to move this to the inactive file, is that correct?
Very good. Yes,
No?
please.
Okay. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, I'd like to begin by accepting the suggested amendments on page 3 of the analysis in the author's amendments. SB 1151 requires the Office of Emergency Services to conduct a study on the feasibility of utilizing United States Postal Service staff to assist during a declared disaster or emergency. Postal Service employees have unique skill sets that would allow them to assist federal, state, or local authorities as first responders. SB 1151 has the potential to enhance California's emergency response services by providing additional support and assistance to communities impacted by natural disaster or emergency. There is no opposition to this legislation. I respectfully ask for your aye vote. We have John Beaumont from the National State Association of Letter Carriers present to testify in favor of the legislation.
Thank you. Please proceed. State your name and position.
John Beaumont. I'm president of the California State Association of Letter Carriers. Good morning. I thank the opportunity to testify before this distinguished committee. I also want to thank the chairman for his support of the United States Postal Service and our valuable network. As the president of the California Letter Carriers, I speak in support of Senate Bill 1151. I represent the city letter carriers throughout our great state, and as a representative, I encourage passage of Senate Bill 1151. The United States Postal Service was founded in the United States Constitution, an institution that is actually older than our beloved country. The Postal Service provides a valuable function throughout our nation, delivering valuable commerce 7 days a week. The Postal Service delivers mail to every address at a universal rate throughout the United States, including Guam and Puerto Rico, with zero taxpayer dollars. Our revenue is derived from ratepayers and not taxpayers. Our mission is a valuable service established and maintained for over 250 years. Letter carriers throughout California, both rural and city, will be receiving commerce from the Postal Service to their patrons 7 days a week. Our employees use a network that provides mail service to every address in the United States. Every large city and small town in California receives letters, magazines, parcels, utilizing the postal network. More importantly, other delivery services such as FedEx and UPS have created in their own business plans that utilize the postal network for their own last mile of delivery. At the end of the day, the Postal Service is providing to and for the American public a service. We believe that it is important on saving the postal network for utilization of other functions that the American public can utilize within our network. Letter carriers and postal employees are the most trusted government agency year after year. The Postal Service employs more veterans than any other company in this entire nation. As such, we are professionals who value our service we provide. We are the fabric of the community in every part of this country. As letter carriers, the American public values the trusted entitled to us as employees, and we service the needs of our communities that we work in. Throughout history, we've maintained the delivery in disasters, wars, hurricanes, earthquakes, and most recently, the Porter Ranch gas leak crisis in the San Fernando Valley. We want to use this network and be able to work with the other first responders, and with that, we urge the committee to support SB 1151. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in support? Name and position.
Michael Young, California Labor Federation, here in support.
Thank you. Opposition? Questions, comments from any of the members? Seeing no questions or comments,
I'll move the bill.
we have a motion by Senator Wessel. Senator Hall, would you like to close?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Motion is due pass as amended and re-refer to appropriations. Hall.
Aye.
Hall, aye. Berryhill. Block. Block, aye. Gaines. Galgiani. Galgiani, aye. Glazer. Hernandez.
Aye.
Hernandez, aye. Hill. Waso.
Aye.
Waso, aye. Lara. Lara, aye. McGuire. McGuire, aye. Runner. Vidak. Currently has 7.
Currently has 7, enough to get it out. We'll put that bill on call.
Thank you, sir.
Next one's 20. Yeah.
Item number 20, SB 1426, Hall Alcohol and Beverage Control, Tight House Restrictions Compensation. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Senators. SB 1426 authorizes an alcoholic beverage supplier to retain the services of a spokesperson that also has an ownership interest in an off-sale or on-sale retail license. The bill contains a number of safeguards that will enable alcoholic beverage suppliers to utilize promotional services offered by various promotional spokespersons. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Anyone like to speak in support? Please proceed. State your name and position.
Mr. Chairman and members, John Latimer on behalf of Diageo, the world's leading distilled spirits manufacturer and proud owner of the brand Guinness Beer as well. We're here in support of the bill. We do think that the changing nature of promoting our products requires this tight house exemption. Increasingly, the reality and the advent of the Food Network and cooking competitions and shows, et cetera, has led many celebrity spokesperson types who are otherwise desirable for moving our products to move into the retail or restaurant business. This tight house exemption allows us to continue to partner with individuals, even if they migrate into the restaurant or retail business, but does so in such a way that we think protects a lot of the primary concerns around the three-tier system. There would be no marketing of any kind conducted on that retail premise. We would make sure that there's a written contract that provides the services that are to be performed by the individual spokesperson. We added a 5-year sunset date, so if the policy has any issues, we have an ability as legislature to come back and review it. We've added intent language relative to the importance of the three-tier system, and we think with a number of those protections, we have recognized the value of the three-tier system, but at the same time continuing to evolve 80-plus years after that body of law was passed to meet the needs of consumers and the products that we sell. So with that, I have Stephanie Shaw from Diageo to answer any questions if you have, and other supporters as well.
Mike Velasco, Wine Institute. We also support the bill. Wineries like to pair wine with food. And the fact that we have celebrities out there, chefs, we like to hire them. Unfortunately, at times, they have an ownership interest in an on-sale licensing. It makes it a non-go. This bill would make a small, we think, modest change in the Tied House laws to allow those kind of business relationships to occur with lots of safeguards so that it doesn't really get to the core issues with the Tied House laws. So we ask for your aye vote.
Mr. Chair and members, Melissa M. Alexson with Anheuser-Busch, also in support of the bill. Like many Tied House exemptions, we feel that this bill applies to a very narrow and specific situation in which we have a relationship with a spokesperson who also has a retail interest. While it's an unlikely and uncommon situation, we believe that the changing dynamic of the marketing and promotion world requires a fresh look at this body of law. And as Mr. Latimer outlined, the bill really provides for a narrow box that a manufacturer can operate in this type of situation. It also gives a bright light to our regulator to go after bad actors who are abusive of this type of situation. So we believe that the firewalls are strict and they're fair, and respectfully request an aye vote.
Mr. Chairman and members, Stacey Dwelly on behalf of the Family Winemakers of California, also in support, and appreciate the narrowness in the drafting of the bill and urge your support.
Thank you. Anyone else? Support?
Mr. Chairman and members, Scott Wetch on behalf of Tuncaro Family Estates for the reasons previously stated in strong support.
Thank you. Opposition?
Come on down.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Shane Gussman on behalf of the Teamsters. The Teamsters have members in virtually all aspects of this industry and are strong supporters of the current sort of regulatory framework. We think it provides balance and allows for each segment of the industry to thrive. We are opposed to this bill because we feel that the exemption in the bill isn't as narrowly crafted as the proponents state. The conditions that apply to restrict the exemption, to limit the exemption, is basically blown out of the water by another provision in the bill, subdivision D. But on a sort of philosophical grounds, we don't want to see any more exemptions in the Tied House rules because we are very concerned that as these issues move through the courts, that our whole regulatory scheme is put in jeopardy. And so for those reasons, we are opposed to the bill.
Dennis Sloper for the California Beer and Beverage Distributors also opposed to the bill, and we agree with Mr. Gutzman that this bill is not narrowly drafted. The bill says that any retail licensee who does not control the buying can be a spokesperson. Now that means that anybody in Rodney's Liquor Store's owner could be a spokesperson, or any restaurateur. It's not, if it were a one-off for celebrities, it would be much more narrowly drafted than it is. I'd encourage you to read page 2, the section 1AB, which outlines what is covered. We agree with Mr. Gutzman. If you look at page 2, look at section D, that basically they undo everything that they've done on protections on page 1. Further, we also agree with the Teamsters that there's a grave concern on recent decision on the Ninth Circuit in January of this year, in which the court, when remanding, said, in remanding the case, the increasing number of statutory exceptions call into doubt whether the statute materially advances the state's goal. What they're saying is that every time you do a Tied House exception, the question is, are you undoing the need for the 3 tiers? As the biggest employers in alcohol for distribution in California, we firmly oppose this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in opposition? Comments, questions from any of the members? See no comments. Is there a motion? So moved by Senator Lara. Mr. Chairman, would you like to close?
I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. We have a motion by Senator Lara. This is SB 1426. Call the members, please.
Motion is due pass and re-refer to appropriations. Hall.
Aye.
Hall, aye. Berryhill. Block. Block, aye. Gaines. Galgiani. Glazer. Glazer, aye. Hernandez. Hernandez, aye. Hill. Hueso.
Aye.
Hueso, I. Laura? Laura, I. McGuire? McGuire, I. Runner? Vidak?
Aye.
Vidak, I. That has 8.
That bill has 8. We'll keep it open. We'll lift the calls. Item, Madam Secretary?
And just replace them because I know we're still missing some people.